So, from the title of this video, you can probably guess this is going to be a pretty crazy story. Most of you probably don't know, or necessarily care for that matter, but I really like Apex Legends. I've been a big fan of it for a long time. I think it's probably the best Battle Royale I've ever played, and I've met a lot of really cool people playing it. One friend I met playing it goes by the name of BNS. BNS is a Brazilian player, and he messaged me one day saying he'd got an invite to the Apex Pro Invitational. Along with the best teams in the world, everyone was going to be the biggest Apex event ever in history. Now, the reason he messaged me is because he was inquiring whether I knew anyone willing to sponsor him. Now, despite knowing a lot of sponsors because of my whole CSGO scene involvement thing, I'm not really in contact with any Apex sponsors, and I'm not too sure how many people are throwing that much money at Apex anyway. But BNS told me they couldn't get a sponsor. There was a couple of days left. Now, the tournament was being held in Krakow in Poland. A lot of esports tournaments are held there. We've got the Katowice Major, obviously, as CSGO players. And long story short, he had a couple of days to find a sponsor. So I took it upon myself to extend my helping arm and offered to sponsor them personally. The only stipulation was if they won any prize money in the tournament, you had to come top 20 to win prize money. That we'd half the prize money. To me, this seemed like a pretty fair deal and an awesome opportunity to fund something truly memorable for a small group of players who wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to compete in pro esports and the biggest Apex tournament known to man. So I haven't really sponsored any pro teams before, I'm just a YouTuber, so I had to work out all the logistics of it and everything I needed to fund. This included life insurance, because they couldn't actually legally travel from their countries to Poland without life insurance, the tournament fee for entry, the visa into Canada for their connecting flights, the hotel, the entire flight tickets, which wasn't too easy because one of them lives in Brazil and two of them lived in Chile, so they had to get from Brazil over to Chile and then all three of them over to Canada, and then from Canada all the way to Warsaw, I believe in Poland, and then from Warsaw to Krakow. Earbuds, which were a necessity of the tournament, parking in Krakow, car rental, and food for the entire time. After we'd worked out the whole logistics of it, remember this was on a very tight time schedule, so I contacted my designer, and obviously we needed a team logo. The players decided on the team name One Above All, and we took that and we rolled with it. After many iterations of the logo, this was the final one we decided on within 2 days. I think it looks pretty sick. Then using this logo, the plan was to create some team jerseys, because if my boys were going to the tournament, they needed to look top notch. Unfortunately, I was told that there was absolutely no way we could get the jerseys in time, get them all designed, get them all printed out with the team logo, all the colours, and actually get them shipped to Poland somehow. So that was a little bit disappointing, but nonetheless, I still had very high hopes for One Above All. 13th rolled around real quick, and it was tournament time.
Buenas, aquí el team de One Above All. My name es...
¿Por qué fala en português? ¿Qué está acontecendo?
Mi nombre es Brans. Él es BNS, jugador brasileño. Él es Fireman, jugador chileno también. A representar a Chile y a Brasil. Y bueno, aquí comienza nuestra gran aventura ya. Nos quedan 8 horas aproximadamente para esperar que salga nuestro siguiente vuelo a Polonia. Estamos en Canadá. Y bueno, más que eso, no sé, que intentar mantener la cabeza cuerda para después llegar y que no nos afecte mucho el cambio.
Todo verde y bonito.
Ya, no, tenemos que separarse el check-in en el propio banco. Así que ya nos tomamos en esto. De hecho, muy buena la seguridad, ¿no? Se explica la fiesta. Vamos con los jugadores y también se me hizo París. Así que estamos pronto a ir.
¿Cómo estás, Fire?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Apex Legends Preseason Invitational.
So this was it. We've done it. We got a team there all the way from Brazil and Chile. One Above All made an entire esports org in 2 days. Now it was time to perform. But before we get into it, I need to explain this. The point distribution of the tournament was as follows. First place was 12 points. Second place was 9 points. Third place was 7 points. Fourth place was 5 points. Fifth place was 4 points. Anything within the 6th to 10th range was 2 points. Anything within the 11th to 15th range was 1 point. And for 16th to 20th, you got absolutely nothing. 0 points, which makes the scoring system for the tournament a little bit different to the ranked, but pretty similar. Everything below top 5, terrible points. So with this whole point scoring system, you realize how incredibly important it is to get to the top 5, which obviously changes the meta of the game a little bit because it becomes a bit more about survival and a bit less about pushing aggressively for kills. This scoring system has been pretty debated highly by the pros. Here's a clip from Mendo's stream where they were talking about their dislike for it and the fact they thought it needed changing. Mendo, please don't copyright strike me. I love you.
The developers for not having a clue what they're doing with the rule sets. Like, not even a little bit.
Nope, I gave my feedback because 6th place is worth the same amount. Like, 6th place is worth the same as like 10th. And I said that doesn't really make sense. You should change that because sometimes I get like 5th and kill a couple teams for it and I don't get any reward.
But obviously kills were also counted in the tournament and they counted for 1 point per kill. So you could go absolutely ham and try and kill everybody and get, 20 points plus just based on kills. But that's also an incredibly risky strategy when the majority of your points are probably going to come from those top 5 placements. So we had the initial bracket. All the teams were split into different groups, group A, B, C and D. So my team that I sponsored ended up in group D. Other huge big name teams that were in their bracket as well included Virtus Pro, Team Solo Mid, who were actually the winners of the last massive Apex tournament, the X Games, Misfits, Kick Esports, Team Liquid, Echo Fox, Fnatic. I knew this was going to be a hard bracket, so everything was all ready to go. The boys had arrived in Poland, and it was time to play some Apex.
You saw Singularity on screen. Can it be Singularity? Can it be some of these lesser known teams? One above all. We also have Selector representing Korea.
I'm not going to show you the entire games because obviously that would take way too long, but I will show you those juicy highlights. Oh, and look at this. You know the team logo? They didn't even put it on. Didn't even put it on stream. Just gave us some kind of default logo. Great.
Find that they are, well, above that of TSM. The high ground advantage very much in their favor. We've got ourselves 10 seconds out until round.
So this was the first game, one above all, doing really well. Already made it to the top 10 in a super strong position here on the high ground. TSM holding this central ground on top of the house. Very strong position. Circle is in their favor.
Push! Alberlele wastes no time!
One above all hiding behind the rock, just playing it safe, putting in some damage into TSM here.
One above all still being a pain in TSM's backside. Yeah, the Fireman really lighting a fire under TSM. They need to find a way to get control over this. The shielding and Phoenix is coming through, but now pressure, the flank coming out from the other side. Brands ends up going down, BNS is going down, Fireman ends up going down, and the oxygen here now removed from that squad.
And that is painful. Getting flanked here at number 6 by Misfits.
And the last one went down to VP, I believe.
You love to hear the comms, though, and the perspective of the players.
6th position here instead of 5th position. Cost us a lot of points for the first game. Unlucky. But really good potential. Lots of high hopes still. Moving into game 2, 18 squads left in the tiniest circle ever. Everybody fighting for that top 5 position. My boys have locked down a house. Good luck to them.
My day is what Zork said as he looked at that poster, and my goodness, it wasn't made here. It's not over though, the action still continuing to unfold here in the Swamp's house. Fireman sitting with almost no HP, Brands goes down. Fireman, the last man to stand, no HP, can he heal up?
Let's see if we can get outside. We're now probably going to try to sit on the outside of this wall, looking to try to get this finished, gets that a limb, and now certainly that heal has come in.
Oh my gosh, the EVA shot's being able to chip away, and as well, Fireman actually not even the one who gets the knock, nobody threatening him whatsoever.
Now he's a one-person team and everybody else is 3, so he's got to play it cool and he's got to play for position. And unfortunately, he gets taken out here off-stream, 11th place. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how crazy small this ring is and how many teams there are left? Super intense. But here's some better analysis than mine.
These guys got into a big fight over at this house, and just the control, the gameplay, coming around, just great job. Goes with the double arc star, waits the opportunity, sees the tag, and he's going to be able to jump on top of this, which sets his team up in a really nice spot, as they're going to be able to clean up. And then, of course, we see the next 2 enemies, of course, are going to be coming in, but now it's in that 2 versus 3 situation. So Brands is going to be up here to take the brunt of that force, and he's going to get knocked real quick. But what he does is he creates the opportunity for Fireman and his teammate BNS to be able to get the cleanup on top of this. It's a big trade out. There's a whole lot of houses in this area where all the action is going down, but he's going to, at the very least, be able to push that team forward just a little bit more. He's going to be able to come out, get the loot, and keep the game going.
And look, it's 18 teams remaining.
Now we move into match 3, the very final match of the bracket. Now, as it stands, it's ridiculously close between the bottom 15 or so teams, and we need to make it into the top 10 to advance to the winners bracket. A top 5 with some kills should hopefully secure that here. So let's go.
Already so low on a majority of the resources that they should be at least questioning if they want to venture out to some of those baby towns on the outskirts of it, some of those compounds, and look for a bit more loot. But we'll see if it comes back to bite Gen G. Oh yeah, we take a glance at our very first look here, at least for us, onto the circle, and it very much is going to be that water treatment. Some of the loot coming up from one above all Fireman. He's all right when it comes to some of the loadout. Maybe a little, well, now that I say that, that's a golden alternator, I believe there. We didn't get to see the full name, but... And if that is a true statement, that's a big victory here for One Above All, one of the best golden you can probably find in the game.
So One Above All were in this really strong position here at the top of the dam, right next to the gas, so they couldn't be flanked. But this position suddenly turns into a terrible position. We have to push out of this and try and survive somehow. 17 squads left.
One Above All, a Watchtower, they're going to have to make their move very soon.
This is like a run to the hills Hail Mary moment here for this squad, because they have so many people looking at them that I just don't see.
Shots in there with a longbow, but not a lot here. Of course, lots of foliage.
I don't know what else to say other than good luck, because you have so many people pressuring you at so many different angles, and you decided to be the first one to make the move.
So we somehow managed to be saved by the trees there and actually survived into the ring.
Everybody else is so worried about water treatment and water treatment village that nobody's really going to be taking a glance at where they are approaching.
Brands manages to get a kill off stream with a wingman headshot here.
Finishes one, and it's also going to be Hal who gets...
Brands goes down, VP take him out, and they finish him. BNS then gets taken out by TSM, and Fireman also falls to TSM. 6th place.
Terminamos sexto 2 veces y una décima. Nos faltaron sacar más kill, que eso nos jugó en contra, o haber quedado quinto, porque la diferencia de puntos que nos dan por haber quedado quinto y haber quedado sexto es muy grande. Sí, de hecho, por 4 puntos no quedamos entre los primeros 10.
Yep, you heard him correctly. 4 points. 4 points would have been gained if those 2 6ths were actually 2 5ths. Really frustrating that One Above All got 6th twice, because there's such a massive difference points-wise between 6th and 5th, but unfortunately they've been knocked down to the losers bracket. I still think they did excellently. They're coming across some big orgs. I mean, you got like Liquid, you got TSM, you got like Fnatic, you got all of the names that we know in Counter-Strike, and they're actually doing better than a lot of them. So yeah, a little bit gutted that they didn't end up in the winners bracket, but they did absolutely amazingly considering, you know, the time they had to prepare, the people they're up against, and the situations they found themselves in. Bring on day 2.
Estamos a 10 minutos de comenzar este día. Vamos a darlo todo. Estamos tranquilos, de verdad, concentrados y bueno, muchas gracias por el apoyo de la gente. Espero que les haya gustado igual los videos que estamos haciendo. Son hartos. Pero de verdad, gracias Sparkles también. Gracias Sparkles por interesarse en nosotros y confiar en nosotros y hacernos cumplir esto. La verdad, estamos en un lugar de privilegio. Nunca pensamos en llegar a esta situación, estar a este punto ahora de poder en este lugar. O sea, tú puedes ver y ver a todos los mejores equipos del mundo caminando acá, organizaciones súper grandes que nunca pensé verlas de tan de cerca. Muchas gracias por confiar y vamos a darlo todo hoy día.
Now checking in also with One Above All. This is the team that we talked about as well. South American team. Representation from both Chile and Brazil.
This is going to be a very, I think, distance-battled game. We see One Above All now questioning whether or not this high ground is actually as comfortable as they thought once more. It feels like the arsenal of somebody's grenades being launched at them. Back here, Sinister.
Trying to push it from Bowser. Eva 8 out, just goes right up. Nice little grapple.
First game, an unexpected push from Sinister puts them out at 16th place. Second game, One Above All once again finding themselves in a really strong position up here on the high ground, but very reminiscent of the last game of day 1. They now have to leave the safety of this high ground and push towards the circle, where a lot of people are already set up and waiting for them. Let's go.
The staircase on the low ground too.
And Nagano 1998 did fall on the kill feed. If you caught that, now checking back in with One Above All, and a lot of play is going to happen here. We've got, of course, a little corner of cage left in this match, which means that a lot of teams are going to be able to set up on the different levels of cage, and there's going to be a lot of mind games with elevation there and how those teams push out. Where are the zips going to be? Where are we going to see the portals? This is going to get nutty real fast. 11 squads left. Now looking back here at Sinisters and One Above All, and like we said, there's really only a few places to set up here as the ring closes, and then things are going to converge very, very fast Little corners of Cage are going to be important here, but longbow shots coming in as shields are breaking there for Echo Fox, knocking out all sorts of players there as we go here now. Even 8 for one above all. Fireman trying to stay alive. He finds some generators. No, he can't get away. He will fall as well. They will wipe now. 5 squads left.
Yeah, that's correct. It's another 6. Jumping straight into game 3, and 2 out of 3 of One Above All have been knocked off stream.
Much for them, but actually on the other side, One Above All actually struggling. Their 2 members already down. Fireman looks like he's about to trying to get out of this situation. Actually not going to be too problematic here for our friends at Crossroads.
We'll see what he can do here. Potentially pushing into a 1v3, going to try to get some quick revives. Looks like he will be able to do so, and they need it because they're in 17th with just 2 points on the board, keeping his team alive, and this is their tournament life on the line.
I am in awe that One Above All was given the opportunity to get those double res.
Amazingly, he manages to res both of them. We're still in this.
As One Above All get the resurrection, get out of Crossroads, make their transfer over, and now taking a different approach here through caves.
Unfortunately, not managing to find any good ground and getting shot from every angle, we get taken out again.
Market Town, that's going to be One Above All who does get wiped. They will go down. They were sitting in 17th. That will be the end of their tournament life. One Above All eliminated here as well.
Hola gente, soy Fireman. Les voy a contar la experiencia de ayer, que fue nuestro último día de jugar el torneo de Aves Invitational. Y bueno, no nos fue muy bien, perdimos. Creo que nos faltó más que nada un poco más de experiencia. Pero bueno, la experiencia fue inolvidable. Espero volver a vivir un momento así y venir mucho más fuerte como llegamos a este torneo.
Was I disappointed in the final result of One Above All? Not really, no. Although there was absolutely no prize money won whatsoever, and I got 0% return on my pretty huge investment on sponsoring all of them going out there. I saw it as helping the future of esports and potentially giving birth to some new pros. Overall, it was an absolutely incredible tournament. Team Solo Mid ended up winning once again, which was quite a surprise because at the beginning they weren't doing fantastically. There was Team 768, which were different underdogs who were absolutely smashing everyone. I thought that they would win. In the end, I really hope that I created a truly memorable experience for 3 pro Apex players that they will never ever forget. And honestly, it was kind of an honor to be a part of this tournament despite nobody really knowing that I was a part of it whatsoever. They'll know when I make this video, but it was super cool just to be involved in the background and just sit back and watch the stream. I was really proud to be a part of. Great honor. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I know it wasn't CSGO content, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it anyway. It was pro gaming content and a pretty cool story that I was happy to tell you. I actually do a lot of this stuff, this kind of background stuff that I don't really talk about, but this was one occasion that I thought, hey, this will make a pretty cool video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy. Peace.